How are you? If you can hear me, welcome to a 6 a.m. Actually, no, it's probably about 7 a.m. now here in LA. How's everybody doing? I'm taking the dog Wendell on a walk here. I just finished a Pilates class. Let me flip the camera. Hey. Good morning. I am just walking through the heart of Los Angeles on my way back to the house. Just finished a Pilates class, 6 a.m. Good to see everyone who's showing up. Welcome. If you guys can hear me, put a 1 in the chat just to let me know that you're hearing my words. Thank you for the hearts. I really appreciate it. That also is a good indication. 111. Thank you. Yoga, yes. Judith, Francis, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Now, if this is your first time here to one of my scopes, what time did you do Pilates? 6 a.m. Pilates. 6 a.m. Pilates. Now I'm drinking a Clover drink here, walking the pooch back. Essentially, we're going to do a run pretty soon. So, okay, now, awesome. Skip Foster, well, awesome to see you. Awesome, good, you guys can hear me. So if this is your first time here, do me a favor. We're going to be talking about something that you may have questions on. Anybody, if you sell products or services, if you do coaching or consulting, if you sell anything, this is going to pertain to you. So if this is if you guys, this is your first time here, put in the chat, okay, just below here, put in the chat teach, okay, and if you've been here before, put in the chat learning, okay, teach if this is your first time here, or learning if you've been here before, teach. Okay, so we have some newcomers here. Welcome, you guys. So I'll very briefly tell you who I am, and then we're going to jump in and start talking about an idea that is very commonly, it's an idea that every business owner has. Hi, I'm Barack Obama, and I think you're an American hero. Thank you, Mo Falk. I really appreciate it. I feel like an American hero. So this is something that all of us have questions on. If we sell products and services online, how should we sell it, right? That's the biggest questions. Haters will say I'm not actually Barack. Yeah, I probably, I see that you don't really look like Barack, but that's cool. I really appreciate you coming to my scope, and hopefully this helps apply to maybe your business, Barack Obama, because you might be wondering how to price some of your programs and products that you may be putting out there. Maybe you're going to have a book, Barack Obama. Maybe that's something you want to put out there, and what do you charge for that book? So that's what we're going to be talking about. For those who don't know, my name is Casey Zeman. I do scopes all about creating and launching your business online. I'm a digital marketer. I've been doing it for quite a while. I'm the founder of Easy Webinar. It's a software that does both live and automated webinars. We have over 5,000 customers, and this is exactly what I teach, kind of broadcasting tools, how to launch a 7-figure business online. This is not MLM. This is how to launch any 7-figure business, whether you are creating digital products, whether you're creating coaching, coaching or mastermind, whatever. So now, I'm going to do this kind of in a Q&A style, but a lot of people ask me, Casey, how should I charge? What should I charge for my digital products? These are questions I get all the time. And here's what I normally say to folks who ask these questions. I say, what is your value first? What is your, what are you bringing to the table? Like, what is it that your value proposition of your actual product? And a lot of us, instructional webinars, you can do instructional webinars with our software, but you can also build your own audience as well. So a lot of people ask me, Casey, what should I charge my product? I was thinking maybe $97, for, like, let's say a program that might be, let's say the program might be 6 modules or 6 modules of 10 lessons each, okay? Now, anytime you're pricing your product, the very first thing I want you to think about is, what will someone get out of your product? Meaning, what will be the results that someone can achieve from your product? That's the very first thing you want to think of. So let's say that I put out a product, and then someone follows exactly what I just taught them, and then they were able to go out and make $10,000 from doing what I told them to do. If they were able to do that, where do you think I should be pricing my product? Okay? that's what I want you to start thinking about. Like, if someone applies what you're teaching, okay, and I've talked about this before, but the reason I'm talking about it again is that a lot of us don't quite get it yet. We don't realize that it has to be based upon the results that someone can get. Okay, so you can think about that when you're pricing your product. So, for instance, should you price your product at $2,000 for the entire course? Well, if they're able to take what they're applying from you and make $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 in that year, then absolutely. We have customers that have sent us emails who have made $100,000 in 2 or 3 months using our software. So to me at that point, I'm like, well, obviously I have the ability to charge a higher price. Right now, our prices are $477 a year or $397 a year. So to me, I'm at a point where I'm like, maybe I should be charging higher prices. Because here's another thing that a lot of us question and are curious about. Should I be pricing myself competitively to try to beat out my competitors? That's a big thing that people ask. And my belief is this, that trying to just undercut your competitor is not the way to do it. My belief is that oftentimes I try to price myself higher than my competitor because I feel that it's going to differentiate myself, and I'm also trying to provide more value. What if I teach about health nutrition? They won't make money with that. Come on. Yeah, and I've gotten that question a lot of times, and this is fine, you guys. You can ask me questions about this. I'm just walking as I'm talking, but so here's the thing. If you're providing a lifestyle change for someone, you have to understand what that does for someone. Like for me, I've been working out a lot more, and when I work out more, what happens? My productivity increases. The ability for me to make money increases. I'm able to find, a healthy mind is a healthy body is a healthy mind. Maybe you're helping them find true love. I mean, there are so many things that you can't necessarily put a value on in terms of money, but it's such a huge part of their life that it's almost like priceless. So, what would you price at that? What would you price at that point? For me, nutrition is probably one of the top things that I'm going to spend money on because it's so important to me, So I think that's you just have to think about that. Like sometimes that's even more important, right? You're not helping them make money, but you're helping them change their lifestyle. So anyway, that's what I believe. There was somebody else. Do you guys have any questions? Put what you do in the chat, and then let's talk about what we should maybe price it at. Why don't you do that? Put in the chat what you do. We could talk about doctors don't have a problem charging value and health. Exactly. That's exactly right. Skip, thank you so much. Yeah. Cooking lessons. Okay, so cooking lessons. Another one. You have to understand who's your ideal client that you're going after for cooking lessons. Are they someone who is having, someone who is trying to get healthy? Someone who is trying to speed up the process for when they do prepare a meal, So we have photography as well. So photography, are you teaching photography? Is that what it is? If you're teaching photography, I have some of my mastermind students who charge let's say this is funny because at first he was charging, I think about $197 for a program, and he was teaching photography, but he was also teaching photography for business, okay? So he was trying to help others with their business in photography, and at that point, he started charging more, like $297, $397 for his program. So, if you're teaching photography, that's a business. So you're teaching someone to have a business, essentially. So in that regard, you charge whatever you feel that person could potentially make. Like for instance, a photographer can make $4,000 to $7,000 to $8,000 a month, depending on who they are, right? And if you show people how to become a photographer, as well as maybe the business side of being a photographer, then I see the value. If you're selling a program online, $297, $397 makes a lot of sense to me. Even a $2,000, how to be a photographer program for 10 weeks makes a lot of sense. Here's something that a lot of you guys do, and I want to touch on this really quickly, is the discount factor. When should you offer a discount? And I want to put this out there because a lot of people, tend to solely rely on discounting their product. Like, let's say you put a product out there and then, you're having a bad week, so you're not making a lot of money, so you discount your product just so you can pull in some fast cash. And oftentimes that is a big mistake that a lot of people make. My suggestion to you, instead of offering a discount, now, discounts aren't always bad. In fact, discounts can be good, but I would say in terms of when to do a discount, never do a discount when it's like when you're just simply needing to make some quick cash, because if you start giving discounts out, people will know that you're giving a discount out, and they're always going to, those are the type of people you're going to attract, where they're saying, hey, is there a discount? Is there another discount? Referral clients who are always consistent. Yeah. Dig the hair. Thank you. I appreciate it. Got the haircut. So instead of a discount, and if you want to do like an offer, try to do bonuses instead, right? Yeah, nickels and dimers want discounts. Yeah, that's exactly right. Try to do bonuses instead of a discount. Okay, try that. And what I mean by bonuses are roll in different things that can help kind of support your product. So oftentimes, when I sell our software, we have $1,900 of a bonus package, which is mostly teaching about how to not only create an awesome webinar, but how to get people to your webinars, right? So we teach about traffic, getting people in. And it's a really great addition to the software. And it's almost like it kind of fills gaps that people are looking for. What about fast action bonuses? First 10 users get X. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when we're talking on a webinar, that's something you should definitely be doing. Always do a fast action bonus on a webinar. And a fast action bonus, for those who are inside my program, you guys maybe know this, do a fast action bonus on your rebroadcasts as well. Not on your replays, but your rebroadcasts, okay? Rebroadcasts are when you send out another, hey, Wendell, stop, come here. Sorry, Wendell started walking too far away. When you send out another, essentially another scheduled time for that event, but you already did it live, and now it can be pre-recorded. But you still schedule it as it is live, right? So that one, yeah, I would definitely say do another fast action bonus there. The replay, that's when you take the fast action bonus away, okay? That's when you take the fast action bonus away. You just have the bonuses, your normal bonus package at that point, all right? That's what I would suggest. So yeah, Wendell, love it, yeah. Wendell's like right down here. How's the internet? Is it coming in clear? Can you guys see me okay? Just want to make sure. I gotta keep walking because this dog. Hey, stay right here. Good boy. Okay, cool. So, anyone else? What's another What's another program that you guys have? What's another niche? I want to know, like, if I could help you in any way of pricing your product, because a lot of times people say, Casey, should I charge a monthly fee for my program? Should I charge a one-time fee? Should I charge pricing over 6 months? Should I, these type of things? Do you tease the replay with the fact that they've missed the opportunity? Well, no. So what I do, for the replay, what I tend to do is I say, the replay, my replays, and this is what I teach inside of Webinar Mini Course. If this is your first time here, you guys can go to Webinar Mini Course, where you can learn how to do, first off, a 6-figure live webinar, then how to use what I call the Event Launch Blueprint, which allows you to start off with a live event, then do a rebroadcast of that same event, still have the fast action bonuses, then do a replay, which is based around scarcity. So the replay is a timed replay that's only available for a short period of time with selected bonuses, and those will expire at a certain point. And then, of course, After that, I put it all into an automated system, and that's what the event launch blueprint is. And you can go to webinarminicourse.com to get that. So, but I digress, because we were talking about, thank you so much, Tim, for putting that in. I appreciate it. But I was talking about pricing, but it's okay. I know I have a lot of folks in here that are probably easy webinars, and I have talked about pricing before. You guys are probably more interested in hearing more about webinars. But I would say this. Here's something that's a part of webinars. That's what's great about Easy Webinar, the automated webinars. Yeah, thanks a lot. That's exactly right. So here's what I would say. If you are going to do an automated webinar and you're thinking, what should I price from? How should I charge for an automated webinar? The lowest I would ever go is $97. I don't actually do that for my automated webinars. I charge the normal price of our product. But on a webinar, on an automated webinar, that is maybe a time where you can offer a discount, because it has less engagement than a live, but at the same time it still has that feeling of live, and there's a higher level of engagement than just a replay video. In that regard, I would maybe consider offering a discount. So let's say you normally charge $297, maybe you offer a $100 discount, or maybe you charge $397, offer a $100 discount. The lowest I'd ever go on an automated webinar is $97. Don't ever go lower. And also, some people say, can you sell a monthly membership from a webinar? Yes, you can. And a lot of people do it, but oftentimes, and I've tried both. I've tried to do the membership, and I've also done the one time. I personally like the one time fee from a webinar, any webinar, because of the fact that it's like, hey, normally this costs $67 a month, but right now you guys can get it for a one time fee of $497 or $597 or $697. So that's where I can somewhat see the value. But Ryan, what's up, Ryan? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Ryan Seinelson, you guys should definitely follow him. He does a lot of stuff with Periscope and kind of the tech of Periscope. Like, he has awesome lenses that he puts on. He will do like paddle boarding, and there will be sharks, and it will be awesome. So you should definitely check out Ryan. Good to see you, brother. Yeah. Yeah. So that's how I would do it, guys, in terms of pricing. Anyone else have any questions on pricing? Anybody at all? I know that there were some other niches that you guys had. Who here has priced themselves or undervalued their programs? Anyone? Main man Ryan, yeah. Because I have before. I mean, when I started off doing this stuff, I undercharged for all of my stuff. And I also, that concept of non-value that I was putting on my stuff, it took me a long time to push it out. Anyone else feel that way? Like, oh, well, I'm not totally an expert, or that guy's got something out on the market, so I'm not going to go and push that out. Those were definitely things I've done before. They're not helpful. If you see someone else in the market, you just put your stuff out there, okay? Put blinders on and do it. And as I said, instead of you seeing somebody else and then saying, you know what, I'm going to be competitive and charge less, consider charging more. Why not? Consider charging more. Maybe offering in more bonuses, or offering in maybe a one-time consulting thing where you're maybe offering a 30-minute intake call or something like that. Change it up just a bit and show where yours is a little different. Like, here's a good example and an interesting idea for you. If you see somebody else in the market, try to consider getting more specific about who you're targeting. So, for instance, here's something. So you guys know James Wedmore? Anyone know James Wedmore? If you do, let me know. And I don't know if James is on here or not, but James Wedmore is an awesome video guy, good friend of mine. But I remember when he was when I was just starting out, I had a conversation with Lewis House, because I was like, hey, I'm putting out this YouTube course. Lewis's brother said, hey, you should check out Casey. So Lewis and I got on a call, and Lewis said, you know what, I'm launching something with James. And so I knew that they were launching a program. And it stopped me from pushing out my YouTube course, which was YouTube Revealed. until I changed I changed my idea of how we was going to put it out in the market. So instead of me just creating a YouTube course, I created a YouTube course that was specific to people that wanted to learn how to consult. Okay? It was like YouTube marketing for consultants. All right? So it was essentially YouTube marketing for people that wanted to teach YouTube or wanted to learn it so they could apply it to other people. Because that's how I started out in YouTube. I was a consultant. So I took the expertise that I already had of YouTube, but then I tweaked it and applied it to consultants. And instead of charging $97 like James was doing, I charged $997. $1,000 is what I was charging. Okay? And the reason I went and completely went the opposite direction with it is because, first off, I got very, very specific, right? Yeah, 1 degree different exactly. Got very specific. I offered in a couple additional things like, a 30-minute intake call where I would talk to them about their business. We had also offered up certain things like the online entrepreneur mafia, House, Wedmore, Halpern, Forleo, Zeman, thanks. I got very specific with it, exactly, Ryan. And that's what helped it sell. I did webinars. Okay, he did a launch. I did webinars with, specific joint venture partners that wanted to have a product that was $1,000. And so that's the direction I took. I went into, I zigged a bit, I didn't follow that path. I went into a different path, and it was very beneficial for me. Very, very beneficial. And I would definitely recommend that. If you see somebody else in the marketplace, just think how you could tweak it a bit, because by me making it more specific, right, more specific to consultants, it made it a higher value because it was very, very niche, very, very niche and specific, because it wasn't so broad at that point to every business owner out there. But you had people that were business owners coming into it, but it was more so for people that wanted to potentially teach this to others, okay? I would have my, I had my consultant documents in there, for people that wanted to become consultants. I had, the PDFs in there. Who said they want to start one with me? He did. Right here, Bonka. I think it was Bonka, right? So that's how I would do it, guys. If you see something else in the market, tweak it, change it, and maybe charge higher instead of going lower. Instead of trying to undercut, change it up a bit completely. Go higher, offer something of a different value, and get way more Ebong, right? Oh, Ebong, okay. Way more specific. 6-week online course, How to Eat Healthy for Busy Professionals, Low Carb, now at $290. 6-week online course, How to Eat Healthy for Business Professionals. Okay, I love it because it's for business professionals, right, who are busy, right? That's the thing, right? So 6-week online course. It's a 6-week course. I would maybe do 4. 4 to 6 is actually okay. I wouldn't go 8-week though. So these are folks that are busy, right? So you want to show them a fast way that they can create healthy. They can create healthy meals while still having time for their business, right? Tweak it, change it. For more, Casey, go to Tribeminded.com. Thank you, Anthony in Vegas. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And for those who want Easy Webinar, you guys should be getting, Kareem should have reached out to you by now. Back to that, yeah, busy professionals, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I hope that helped. Did that help about the question about the 6 weeks? Maybe 6 weeks to 4 weeks. 290, try 297. Maybe even increase that to 297. But 290 is okay. I can see that price. Especially for like a 4-week, I can totally see that. And it depends on what you're going to do. Are you going to come in? Here's the thing. Let's say you were to get on a phone call with that person and say, let's find out your dietary restrictions. We're going to do a 10-15 minute intake call to find out what kind of food you like and how you can prepare good quality, healthy food fast for you. So we're going to do an intake call when we get on. Now, if that's something you're going to do, I would actually charge higher, like $4.97, $6.97, or something like that. So then it becomes almost like catered to them specifically. Okay. Now, you may not have the bandwidth to do that in terms of, if you start selling a lot of these, you have to think of how many times I'm going to be getting on a call with someone. That's what I mean by bandwidth. But you may. I don't know. I don't know where it is. Yeah, Skype call. Right. So you can show some steps. Yeah, exactly. Yep, that's exactly right. Okay, that was a great question. Okay. Yeah, maybe offer both, exactly. And sometimes, having two options is really a great way to make that smaller price more enticing. So if you have something that's, hey, I have a $9.97 or $6.97, which is first off it's an intake call. We're going to work. We would cater it specifically to you, or you can join the 6-week course, a 4-week course for $297, which gets you everything. But you can also take advantage of this by doing that. By having both, right? That first one gets more attractive. Does this make sense? Though that lower one gets more attractive. Yeah. Yeah, guys, definitely follow Ryan. And you probably already know Ryan. Skip definitely knows Ryan. Zeph, you probably know Ryan too. So, yeah, 43,000 hearts to 700. I'm trying to get to 1 million at some point. I may have to do another heart contest or something. You know what I should probably do is just do some more interviews. That's always a good way to do it. If you want to kind of increase your exposure on Periscope, do more interviews. Get some people that you can talk to and get them on and start doing more content like that. I think it's time. Yes, it is. I know I need to do that. Okay, well, guys, I hope this was at a little helpful. In the regards to pricing. I know that's your secret. Yeah, I know, Ryan. So Wendell says, Casey, let's get on with this walk. What the heck? He's probably like, Casey, man, come on, we need to run or walk. So I'm going to get going, but I hope this was helpful. Yes, for those who are brand new, you can go to tribeminded.com, come into our mastermind. But for those who want to learn more about webinars, would like to interview you too, Casey. That's awesome, Seth, absolutely. For those who want to learn more about webinars, you can actually go to webinarminicourse.com as well. You said no work. Wendell, you said no work. Yeah, exactly. That's Wendell's internal monologue. I was like, come on, you said we're going to walk. You just took a Pilates class, but I didn't work out yet. That's what his internal dog mind is doing. So as I said, webinar mini course, that's going to teach you all about webinars. And Tribeminded gets you into our Mastermind Facebook group, all free. And I can't wait to connect with you. And of course, follow me if you're not following me and you want to learn more about this stuff. Okay? All right. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to start walking, and I will talk to you very soon. Ryan, I'll be talking to you as well, brother. Okay. See you guys.